the nice thing about having lots of Word is Right people in a meeting is that everyone can do the cool stuff. All right, so it does say we are being live streamed. That is very exciting. Yay! Yay us! Technology did not win today. We kicked technology's ass today, and I love it. Let's kick some more ass. All right. Welcome everyone to The Word is Right. Tonight is a very special night. This is a triple feature open mic. We have Rick Spisak, Elizabeth Ouzts, and David Leo Sirois in the house. I'm so excited. It's a long time coming, right? David's been on the waiting list to get to Word is Right for so long now, and I'm so glad that he's finally here and we're finally able to get him. I kid you not when I tell you the list is long and daunting. And not every Saturday is there an open mic here. But the good news is now we have shows every day of the week. And so just about. So if anyone wants to get in and feature at The Word is Right, beyond the scope of just my Saturday night open mic, you are welcome to do so. I'm super, super excited to announce we launched a brand new show this month called Out Loud Podcast Live. It is, and in fact, of course, I don't have a damn copy of the book with me up here, but it is a spin-off show from our LGBTQ anthology titled Out Loud. We had 47 contributors to that book from all over the world. It is a beautiful book. And yes, Elizabeth Ouzts has it right there. Why? Because she won the first 15. And that was the add-on to that bonus winning congratulations, Elizabeth, for winning the raffle. If you have not been to Red or Green Books yet, please do so. redorgreenbooks.com. Red is READ. Why? Because I live in New Mexico and I'm a poet and I'm full of sass. And sass is the best. So I will, mess with it all day long. So Out Loud is a 2-hour live podcast here on Zoom. We have currently 2 featured hosts. We're filling 2 more slots. The concept is to have 4 hosts, and they're each tapping on different things with one thematic running through the entire show. They provide writing prompts, and sometimes they'll provide a write and share as well. Sometimes not, just depends on the topic. That being said, if you're a mental health counselor, you work with the LGBT community, or you provide any type of outreach as far as supporting the LGBT community in mental health awareness, in social work, anything like that, please reach out to us and let us know. We would love to have you as a panelist for November. That is the first Sunday every month at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can catch everything. You can catch everything on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, or our YouTube page. The Word is Right, WRITE. We'll have all that stuff on there. All right, so some other new announcements. Hear Me Ku, which is the writing haiku workshop with Chanson Bird, is the 2nd and 4th Sunday of the month. And let's see, we also have coming up. We have our featured for the rest of October. We have Holly Gouge. She's a New York poet, and Erica Floyd, who is an incredible spoken word artist from South Carolina. Those 2 women will be October 22nd. I skipped Jude. I didn't mean to skip you, Jude. Jude Ansah is a poet from Ghana in Africa, and he and Phantom Know It will be double featuring next Saturday. The October 29th is our Halloween show. It is our Rocky Horror Poetry Show. So if you want to come by and hang out, read something spooky, write something spooky, just generally misbehave and have a good time with us, we'll be doing that. The Great Debaters is the first Saturday of every month. That is really fun. It's a writing workshop show. If you've never come to it, we take everyone in the room, we split them into 2 groups, we give you a resolve, we give you the pro or the con, and you write to it as a group, and then you write to it individually, and you come back and you try to win the argument. This last Saturday, we did donuts are better than bagels. So if you missed that, right, you missed out, because it was a highly contentious, just kidding, wonderful workshop. November 12th, we have Stephen Blaine in the house. He is the wonderful award-winning musician from New York City. That man is going to win a Grammy someday. Stephen, I'm speaking it to God, right? All right, and that leaves 2 Saturdays in November. One of them will be our anniversary show, most likely November 19th. And then in December, we're saving December 10th for Well, December 10th may be our anniversary show. I'm not sure which one yet will be, but we'll have the feature of the features, which means all of the features will be invited back for the year to come and read. And I'm hoping that our features this evening will consider doing that. December 17th, we have an event with Tesoro, which is a worldwide women's organization who myself, Shaki Grant, a bunch of other women are part of. And then Christmas Eve, we don't have a show. And then New Year's Eve is actually on New Year's Eve this year. And so we're going to do a New Year's Eve show. If you are in a time zone, so what we want to do is drop the ball Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific. So if you're in a time zone and you want to host that 1 hour of the open mic to drop the ball, it's going to be a 4-hour show. We did it last year and it was so much fun. We had 4 hosts, or if you want to co-host that hour with someone, let me know. I'm there the full time. I don't have a live. It's fine. But I will be there the full time to help y'all kind of drop the ball. So if anyone wants to volunteer to do that, please do so. And don't forget, the second and fourth Monday of the month is our erotic show. So if you want to come back for that, is not recorded, is a dark, quiet, closed room. So we would love to have you. All right, that being said, let's get started. If anyone wants to read today, go ahead and drop your name in the list. Some housekeeping items for today. Please keep yourself muted during performances, but when readers are done, please go crazy, go wild, because we want to make sure. Yes, Jeff, I got you, Jeff Cottrell. We want to make sure that our readers can be heard unless they ask people to unmute. So poet Sophia Falco, yes, you must use all 3 of her names. I love when I say that. I better put Jeff Cottrell now that we have Jeff Taylor. I might forget. Yes, Generalissimo, I got you. All right, so keep yourself muted, please. This is recorded, of course. Don't put your face on if you don't want to be recorded, and don't unmute yourself if you don't want your voice recorded. This is a live poetry open mic. This is not a safe space. This is a brave space. You can say anything that you want. You can say fucking shit and dick and pussy and all those great, wonderful words. Just don't bring any hate speech at all whatsoever. I love it that Sophia blushes every time I say that, but I say it every week, right? If I feel you're a threat to anyone in this room, you will be gone, baby, gone, and not allowed back in. I run a tight ship on these open mics. I want everyone to feel brave in this space, but please understand that it's live. Anyone can say anything that they want. There are no trigger warnings required here, but if you choose to use a trigger warning, we'll champion that for you. Please take care of yourself. If something does bother you, then just, go ahead and step away, or turn your camera off. You can mute the computer as well. Whatever we can do to assist you in that, we can, but it's a live freaking event, right? All right, so how we're going to run this today, and I'm trying to pull up the poetry that this weekend. Open micers, it's such a small list today. Let's go 5. We'll go 5 minutes on the open mic for the open micers. I'm going to go ahead and open the room, and then I'm going to bring our first feature up since we have 3 of them today. So I'm going to open the mic so Rick doesn't feel like he has to come to a cold mic, and then we'll bring Rick up. Features have about 20 minutes. I'm not going to I'll time it for you, okay, so you at least know roughly how much time you have left, but I'm not going to mute you, beep you, make a weird noise. I'm not going to be a dick. So don't worry about that. If you go over, you go over. If you don't fill the whole time, don't worry about it. Don't be stressed, please, about the time. Bring what you want and the way you want, and we're here for all of it. Then we'll go to the open mic. I'll bring up Jeff Cottrell, poet Sophia Falco, and Generalissimo, and then we'll bring up David Leo Sirois. If anyone else wants to sign up for the open mic, I'll take names between then and now. And if not, then we'll have Elizabeth Ouzts come up and do her feature after David's. So if you are down for a second round, I will probably just restart the list between David and Elizabeth. All right. So what we did was we took we took the first line of Christy Scribbles's. So we flipped randomly to a poem of Christy Scribbles's, and I took a random line out of her poem, and we wrote to that line. Okay, and so this is a poem titled Mayday, from a poem titled Mayday, written by Christy Scribbles, and the line that we worked off was, "Allow the earth to hold me, and allow the grass to comfort me." And this was the poem that I wrote from that. Today we said see you next time to a fearlessly phenomenal poet woman, friend, who inspired a lifetime of ink stains and disgruntled smudged foreheads, who is unapologetic in calling it like it was and not giving a shit about what others thought. When my time comes, I will allow the earth to hold me and allow the grass to comfort me, since I will belong beneath the feet of a new generation, walking miles in shoes built better than before. The earth will hold me close, press me to her chest as we pen a better way forward, pushing up blades to cut new ways up and out, as grass and stone and empty mouths searching for words still, calling May Day a day late and a lifetime too short to call it lived. Take comfort knowing the dead need no comfort. Then think long and hard. What will your legacy be? And will the pens flow with ink or scratch desperately at nothing when you've returned to the earth too? And that was a dedication to Donna Snyder, who passed away last Saturday. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first feature reader poet, Rick Spisak. I have been very blessed to get to know this man over the course of the last year. So I didn't want the live button. I wanted to go to the, there we go, to his bio real quick. I swear to God, I'm more prepared than this usually. So this is his, well, at least one of the books that I have from him, 7370 Allen Drive. It's a wonderful book. It's very small. It's a quick, easy read. And he is seriously one of the most humble, most loving, most giving, and affirming poets I've met in this community. He is very generous with his time, with his podcast, with all of the work that he does. And he's really not scared, which is great, right? Because sometimes my work can be scary. And he never shies away from it. He's never made me ever feel like weird or like an outcast, sometimes because of the topics I like to write about. So I really have been appreciating his friendship quite a bit. So this is his bio. You can also find it on the Word is Right's Facebook page. Rick W. Spisak Jr. began his work as a professional artist in the studio of Mel Tanner of Lumonics, studying performance light art. Then Richard worked with the luminous Kevin Lehman of Dazzleland Studios, who had the first doctorate of Lumia granted by the Sorbonne. Then Richard earned a second-class radio engineering license and then studied digital electronics. He's performed as a light artist in planetariums and toured as a laser artist in the Americas. Richard has been a writer, producer, director in live theater, TV, radio, and the web. He published 2 short story collections, 2 Small Windows, and A Pair of Mirror Doors, a collection of stories about aliens, ashrams, and gurus. And if I mispronounce this, I apologize, my deepest apologies. And later, Between the Silences. In 2022, Richard published his collected poetry, 7370 Allen Drive. This represents the poetry he has been performing for the last decade. Richard has been producing an international literary webcast entitled Poets of the East. It has just wrapped up its 5th season, featuring poets from Asia to the Americas. I will pop his PayPal link in the chat. You guys unmute your mics, please. Give it up for our first featured reader, Mr. Richard Spisak!
Yay!
Thank you, my friends. Thank you so much. I first have to say, I have met few artists as giving, as generous, as warm-hearted as Marissa Prada, writer, producer, a webcaster, human being of the first order. Right up there with some of the other very, very fine talent poetic producers. Brother David, another one of those people. You can't say enough about people like Marissa and David. They do so much good, and so many of us benefit from their work. It's an honor, and I believe that and mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's an honor to call both of you friends. I will now start my first piece. It is dedicated to you, Marissa, who I know, in addition to your many other thousands of skills, you're also a good mother. And that, for a human being, is a really, really powerful, wonderful thing. So I read this one dedicated to Marissa. It's called The First Gifts, because a mother is the person who gives the very first things we all get in our life. Okay, here we go. The First Gifts, dedicated to Marissa Prada, poet extraordinaire. The First Gifts. Yes, you welcomed those babes at your breast, gave them from your own life sustenance, thought first of them, their pleasure, their pain, their need, then some other, and then yourself. You brought them through the most holy, sacred gate they will ever enter, into the world and into a human life. It can be readily said, you gave the very first gift. Before the gods at the cradle round bestowed those precious others, you clothed them in flesh, gave them their first form. What cells and man and fashion could give, you gave first. Before your gift, there was nothing, and your giving self made every other giving possible. When the first cry is heard, it calls your name. When each searching hand first reaches out, it reaches out for yours. When you press the tiny lips to your breast and smell those first tender breaths, those sweet garden scents are meant for you alone. As tiny fingers first begin the long, lonely search, they search first for you. Never is this new being more beautiful than when seen with your eye. Never is the kind of blessing given than that given from your eye and heart. No wonder the mother is so universally blessed. No wonder such special blessedness belongs first and last to mothers. She has given so much of her flesh, her heart, the first gifts. I can't say more than that. I am eternally, eternally grateful to every woman who has made this path her choice. And to those who have chosen another path, that's wonderful too. But okay. Now this next one, I go to some humor. This is called Let's Send the Rich into Space. Let's send the rich into space. They know their place, high above the common trace. Let's send the rich into space. We'll spare them gladly, far from our face, jeering madly. They've made their case. Let's send the rich into space. Let's send the rich into space. Let them make their own fresh air. They'll have to make it. I just don't care. No use to fake it. Losing the rich won't make us sad, mad, or even glad, but it does scratch an itch. Because all they had they stole, shaken and taken from their bulging pockets, breaking, scraping from the plates of our beloved poor, huddled, shivering outside their iron-hearted door. Don't let the door from behind hit you. I won't mind if the tiny door fits you. You don't have to share one drop of space. There's a lot. Plenty of vacuum out there to spare. Let's send the rich into space. I swear. You may keep your spoils and your buds, the royals, just so you're all amused. And let me leave you these crumbs of clues. It seems you might have to polish your own muddy, bloody shoes. About time you pay your dues. No longer will they walk among us. Send them out into the stars far from us, just about par. They can take their yachts, their cars, and out to the stars. Let's send the rich into space. That place. Bless their darling arses. Let them dodge and duck as each meteor passes. Take their own poodle out for a willy. Whoa, solar flare, whoops, silly. And the next spinning, gritting asteroid until he needs to build his lunch until the spaceship goes crunch. Let's send the rich into space. Take all their sneering, their complacent careering, their vainglorious poses right up their surgeon trim noses. They're just too good to tarry here. Why then, my friend, it's to us the earth and its clear waters dear. Take your servants if they're willing. No need be waited upon and get their fill in. As if you're sage or some new age villain, let's send the rich out into space. I'll chase. Let's spend their lives without their humble shutters drawn, and your royal progeny entitled classes at the schools they bought and spawned, where each dawn of royal clan skates right through and across the gold-plated span. Every man a king, every woman a queen. No more knee shall bow, nor wait in distress ere now, or any scene of their mess. Let's send the rich into space, I guess. Okay, now we're going to do a little serious. This is called Lion Dog. This is from a dream. My brother David gets so much wonderful, rich gifts from his dreams. This is one of mine. It's a lovely little piece. I dreamt that I was a temple guard, a dog placed to guard the temple from evil spirits. So this is called Lion Dog. There we go. Let's see here. Number 47. There we go. Flying o'er the temple, zounds! I watched the sacred lion dog roam the gardens fair and temple grounds. His patrols punctuated with barks and growls. I watched in interest from high above, because you see that lion dog was also me. During his training to patrol the temple grounds, he'd been given special barks, charmed with sacred magic sparks. Every bark a prayer, his barks profound. These sigils gleamed and glowed in the air, full power beams unbounded blare. Sacred barks, these powers made, such sounds profound commandeth any shade. Few are aware the subtle war that shrieks beyond the temple door. Sweet in the temple souls seek solace, sanctuary, peace. That glory is only part of the story. Deep sounds profound, rich in power bound. The lion dog protects the souls that come for sanctuary amid the scrolls. More than solace, a palace so bright, a torch in the deep and sacred temple light. Just outside, sometimes wicked ghouls would disturb the troubled sleep of souls who need the temple's sacred peace. The lion dog protects and guards the deep. While I o'erflew, observed, and watched, the lion dog patrolled and never stopped. My vantage point soared from high o'erspread, in sudden pivot pairing, darting deep inside the lion dog's head. I watched as dangerous spirits drifted past, almost to dare and try at last against the temple walls and gardens pierce, had not the lion dog been so fierce. As lion dog, I stroll the garden's border, warning them off, sure they'd spawn some macabre disorder. Some might scoff as I watched the lion dog drive them off. These drifting spirits mischievous sought would float by dreaming lest the lion dog stop. The lion dog barked and warned them, away! They'd flee his massive jaws, these shades would shrink before his awesome law, keeping demons from the grounds. The guardianship was more powerful than mortal eye might see, or any mortal ear bear the sound. What shades these wizards sent to temple to dissemble, and thereby acolytes might shriek and tremble, though the enemies of the temple crow and bray. That's why our patrolling lion dog in his sacred voice say, we are trained for courage, and on sacred blessed food are nourished. Thus our strong walls protect us, that the temple might flourish. While I on watch guard our grounds from villains and demons, which I know and sensed even when they're scarcely seen. The lion dog bounds across the grounds, patrolling the temple from any noisome sound. I watched as villains tried to worry, shake the gentle vibrations of the sacred space. While on patrol I spotted villains near. I am bound to face them and shame their fear. My barking was marked in air by floating sacred sigils, like monks marking ancient scrolls in vigils. These floated, as if in marking barking signals. As a lion dog, I marked the border, as sacred guardian protects the ancient order. Lion dog. Okay, and we go from the serious to the sublime. This is called Pussy Riot. Many of you Many of you know the terrible, terrible fate that faces anyone in Russia and in many other terrorist states when someone stands up. And in an age when women are still questioned, their values still questioned, these brave women, these brave women stood up to face the most hideous tyrant still on the planet. This is called Pussy Riot. And although I don't try to sing their songs very well, when you hear me sing song, that's their words. The rest are mine. Pussy Riot, number 11. If ever you had any doubt the nerve of this or any kind of girl, leave the trials of home birth alone, or the strain of 2 a.m. the babe unknown. I will praise the stuff of them who without Barbie, without Ken, they took them to a church to storm, bringing down 10,000 awful, lawful kinds of harm. Cock a snoot at Mr. P, who grinds his enemies behind the tree with his special, hideous, pitiless brand of poisonous glee. They took them to the church to denounce the wrongs emerged that any fool knew to say was doomed, and now tuned, groomed to a feisty song about the wrongs. Generations genuflect, black robes brag, golden epaulets reflect, freedom's phantoms gone to heaven, gay pride's chained and in detention. There they stormed inside the church, unprotected by the breasts that nurtured. Babes crazed these holy fools who would scream at Pootie's gruesome, dangerous tools. Pootie's palace guards will know as he bares his teeth and grinds eating so. The ground is littered with his dead. Did you see what these brave girls said? They aren't worried at the poison knob. They demanded freedom. That's their job. Does your vagina have a brand? Let your vagina start a band. If your vagina lands in prison, then the world is gonna listen. My vagina's tough and dangerous, shaking up the major labels. Vagina gonna take the stage, 'cause vagina's got a lot to say. These brave frails with guitars and voice, they see no need of mirch and noise. They shook their fist and bravely, sanely, refrainly mocked where once upon these shores only NATO stalked, wearing no armor but their hearts, what these brave ladies dared to start. Don't play stupid, don't play dumb. Vagina's where you're really from. Where you from? Where you from? Vagina's where you're really from. Don't play stupid, don't play dumb. Vagina's where you're really from. When armies threaten and missiles pose, these soulful women put on shows. So bravely shall taught these women find that all those generals and Pootie's spycraft can't find. We saw these masked marauder girls, no makeup, bake-up, blistered curls, stand up like that single man to tank in bloody Tiananmen where the corpses stank. You're electrocuting my nerve. I don't trust you today. Police baton on my ribs. I'm singing with the blood today. Through masks, they denounce these dangerous fools, pronounce those who with tortures, polonium, poison, prison rules. Enough, they shouted. We braved the cage, fought them for their freedom from out their stage. Whoa now, man, I'm losing focus. The JJ on hocus pocus. Don't act like you don't notice. Girls run it like the U.S. Open. The sky's the prize. They're closing in. Those gruesome gacks, these bloody jacks, they need a win. Though throughout they've committed every heinous, blameless sin, the church yet welcomed Pootie in. Drag those 20 plenty bleeding, needing corpses by the skin. Compromat these fellow travelers. Where will they need the extra crucifixes? Under Ravels. Aleokina, arrested 7 times, unburied yet. She served her time. Brave, right there in Pootie's face. Declined to resign. She stands in place. Instead, they stood and sang so bravely, sagely graced. Aleokina, teach your daughters her name. With brave Malala, who it seemed only wanted schoolgirl dreams. These outrageous, dangerous women, no longer used like tools of fools. Aleokina, delivery girl, stepped out, disguised, took on the world. Such jewels! No longer needing heeding mass retreating task, triumphed at long last. She bravely gave bloody Putin a beating. Through all the forces aligned freedom, not conceding. Against him, needling, these brave young women tried to convince him, and then in victorious song just rinsed him. took to the stage in glorious rage to lead their fellow Russians on to freedom's page. Putin's lighting the fires of revolution. He's bored and scared of sharing silence with the people. With every execution, the stench of rotted ash, with every long sentence, a wet dream. She has migrated across the border of disorder and of meaning to reconnoiter, disguised as a free European human being. Will we join her in the voyage back to human rights, away from the merchants, purchased spoilage? Pussy Riot, vanguard of the future. Okay, let's go to science again. One of my refuges. Come on, come on. Okay, here we go. This, my friends, is called 470 million miles. You recently probably heard that a satellite crashed into an asteroid pair. This is my little tribute to that little amazing outreach. Dimorphos and Didymus, quite a pair. And though we strike them, but we'd settle for a spare. Didymus, reconnaissance and asteroid camera for optical navigation. Draco is all it is. Its sole mission is to smash and give the asteroids a forceful, pushy bash. Speeding at Dimorphos at 4 miles a second, the dart headed for its final destination, the kind of AI-assisted arrival reservation. Not to land, but just to reckon, a very special, noisy kind of check-in. Racing to a rendezvous just to knock it about, and then we're through. Determined to shake and shout a tiny defensive earthquake make. 4 miles a second makes quite an impact, or so it's reckoned, make no mistake. Dimorphos is the rendezvous, one tiny tap for mankind, a brutal slap, but it may be sublime, the journey through the distance mapped, planetary defense at an asteroid shoved from its position, relentlessly slapped. We're not opposed. We like to keep our current rents a special frugal kind of defense. But it will be measured just what service Dart has made it. Sure we be nervous. The entire scheme a kind of sci-fi dream. To push about this tiny spot, a chunk of heaven from 1 to 11. Dimorphos had many similarities to other asteroids, and our rockets have visited instead of avoided. That spacecraft from Earth had gotten close looks at recently, particularly it resembled a pile of rubbish rather indecently. Can we maneuver the great space rocket despite all that destruction? Give it a shock. Even more damage the right wing can do when they mock from their antique vantage. We'll see it coming in the coming weeks when all the space telescopes send in their recent peaks. And then last, my friends, I come to another subject that's particularly warm to my heart. I used to write with a group of people, and most of the poets, did the standard kind of poetry writing. And in one poet in particular struck a note that I thought was interesting. He began, and since he got a lot of mileage out of it, he read this poem particularly quite often. He read about eating an ice cream sundae off his naked girlfriend. Now, listen, I like naked girlfriends as much as anybody, but whether you're a feast of fowl, vegetarian or carnivore, you still might like this. This is called my response, by the way, my response to his quite successful poetry. I wrote this. It's called Dancing Round the Nipple Brown. Dancing round the nipple brown. While some may prize the thighs, I'm impressed by the breast. Though a good behind may cross my mind, the nipple's best atop the breast. Some will swoon at an ankle's turn. Upon my brain the brown button burns and leaves me much impressed, the nipple high upon the breast. An areola peeking there beyond the dress's blush can cause the average man's blood to leap and rush, and just to push against the dress the pouty, pointy part of breast catches my attention, holds it there, and though with might and main not stare at the pretty mountain there, the best of breast, the nipple spot, that's a lot. And while all the territory there, surrounded by the areola's bumpy bare, will bring my mind's attention close, and with my praying lips will bust and boast, and close, so gently breath will dance, close hands, clasp lips, and tonguing trace the very height and breadth of place. The nipple soft and round and tall, surmounted all the blooming best, the white and tan and blue tinged breast. The pinnacle of breasty truth, the taller, tanner, straightened youth, when pressed by lips and well tongued dance, burns my lips to taunt and tease in gentle rigor, loosen knees. With dreamy focus I'm entranced by the nipple's sturdy, ruddy stance, and tickled there, miladies pleased with enthusiasm's heady please. Fingered, lingered, well with tongued taste, and slowly circling begins the taste, and those pounding hearts begin to race beneath as breath begins to rise and fall as nipper does to taller size and all. The nipple seed that sees with tender touching touch can speak so loud and say so much. Though hair for some excites and pleases, and necks for those or toes don't seize 'em, some may find in light of eyes the sunum bonum of the prize. But nipples, I, with numble, trimbled, trebled, tripping tongue, say, aye, that's where the prize is won. Though later, as raptures roll and scented deeds unroll the scrolls, and ladies' legs and men's entwine, needs of seeds, after peaks of passion pour the paint, and patient partners gasp and faint, it remains there to lure and lead. The nipples stare and beg to bless my gentle tongue and lips to press.
Oh my God, Rick! Oh my God, I love it.
Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, you guys, hang on. Let me get my mouse going back here. All right, y'all, unmute your mics. Give it up for our first feature reader tonight, Rick Spisak, and his nipple poems. Oh, yes. I can see Dave. It's like, oh, yeah. David's gonna need to do a whole erotic show now. Like, oh my God! All right, y'all can get his book. Please do. It is wonderful. His entire collection of poetry for the last 10 years. It's very insightful. It's lovely. I'm having a great time reading it. You can find Rick Spisak, Facebook, Instagram. No, not Instagram. Hang on. Let me pull this back up where I had it. I was getting all into the nipple poem.
Facebook and Zoom. Yeah, and
Facebook, Zoom,
Twitter.
and he has for tips today. He is asking for donations. I'll pop the link in the chat. It is also on the Word is Right's Facebook page. If you go to tonight's event and you scroll to the discussions, you'll see his pictures, his bio, and the links for the donations tonight. We usually ask, the hat that goes around. If we were in a brewery or a bar, we would ask people to throw a couple dollars in the hat. There's 13 people in the room tonight. If everyone put $2 or $3 in each of the features, tip jar, if you will, that would be a nice little feature to pay for them. Buy them, like David Leo Sirois likes to say, buy me a cup of coffee, right? But I say buy him a gallon of gas. Like let's go. Buy a gallon of gas or a liter. Well, I don't know what is it. In Canada, liters. Do you guys run off liters?
Yeah, they do. I'm still stuck in my
So buy David 2 liters of gas.
It's for a gallon is 4 liters roughly.
So buy him 4 liters. Just so you need a lot more than 1 cup of coffee. Unless you're at Starbucks and you just that's like $10, right? So just please don't do nothing. Sometimes we feel when we go to events like we've got to tip big or it's going to be an insult, and that's really not true. I think a couple bucks, a cup of coffee, or a couple liters of gas will do a lot. It goes a long way to help these guys get to where they are going. Rick does a lot of things for the poets. If you've not checked out his podcast, Poets of the East, please do so. All of those links and everything are in the bio at The Word Is Right. And of course you can find him on Facebook, Rick Spisak here. And if you can't get a hold of him, just message us The Word Is Right and we'll connect you to him.
Thank you, Marissa. Thank you so very much. And I look forward to hearing all the other wonderful poets that are here. I know many of them. They are each one a gem. Each one a gem.
This has been a long time coming, this featured set, right, between these gentlemen, and Elizabeth is a great addition to the two of you because her book launched this summer, right? And so we're very excited to bring her. I think she fits perfectly with you guys. Just a quick announcement, June 2nd to 4th, right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I'm going to host the New Mexico Poetry Summit. If you've ever thought about coming to the Southwest, please do so. Right now, tickets are only $50. It's a 3-day event. It's awesome. We already filled all of our featured readers, including Jeff Cottrell, who's in the room. Generalissimo is on the waiting list to see if we can fit him in. But there's a lot of people, featured readers, as well as a headliner for the event. It is freaking going to be amazing. Yes, you've been to Los Alamos, John, right? That's awesome. Los Alamos is a hop, skip, and a jump away. They've got the labs up there, Los Alamos National Laboratories. Yes. Yes, you're right, Rick. All right. Yes, Jeff, I've been to Los Angeles. A lot of people have.
Where are the aliens?
The aliens are in Roswell, right? And so what I'm going to do is have a list of things you can do if you want to take a few days while you're here and do something like Roswell. You know, Roswell, you could, it's just a couple hours away. White Sands is here, Carlsbad Caverns, Santa Fe, Taos, Jemez Hot Springs. There's so much here. It's so much history, as well as we have a lot of different Native American tribal lands. They do lots of events and things like that. So come, if you have not signed up to come out here, please consider doing that. It'll be June 2nd through the 4th. And yeah. It's going to be amazing. All right, we're going to keep rocking and rolling with the open mic list. I've got Jeff Cottrell, Poet Sofia Falco, Generalissimo. Then I'm going to bring up our second feature, David Leo Sirois. We're going to go back to the open mic list where I have John Wiesek. If no one else has signed up, yes, Bandolera is amazing. Jemez is awesome. The Jemez Hot Springs are great. And because of the hurricane, so y'all know like how big of a deal Ian was. Hurricane Ian hit Florida, and then it hit up through the East Coast. But because that hurricane was so big and so massive, it kept the low pressure front from going down into the south. So it kept a high over the Rocky Mountains. We have had nonstop rain for like 4 days, 4 or 5 days. And that almost never happens here because we get 6 to 8 inches of rain a year. It's been cloudy and rainy. It's like soaking wet and cold here. So, you know, it's just to get an idea of how big an impact Ian had. We're feeling it here in the Southwest. But yes, all right, here we go. Open mic listers, you guys got about 5 minutes. I'm not gonna like mute you or buzz you or anything like that. Hey, Chance on Bird's in the room. Welcome, welcome. And then after Jeff will be Poet Sofia Falco.
Okay, I've got some new shit, as the kids say. This is called new shit. This is called Bobby's Dreams. What I Want to Be When I Grow Up by Bobby, age 8. When I grow up, I want to work in a cubicle. When I grow up, I hope I get to sit in a cubicle for 8 hours every day, looking at a computer screen. I want a small cubicle with a computer, a Garfield calendar, pictures of my family, and maybe a mug with a funny saying on it, like, "Don't you just hate Mondays?" Just like everybody else's cubicle. I hope I get to stay in this job forever and ever, and that the company never promotes me to another job with more money or a private office. I hope all my hard work makes a lot of money for the company, but not very much for me. When I grow up, I want to come home from work every night and eat a TV dinner with my wife and children, and then we watch game shows and sitcoms on TV until it's time for bed. I hope we live in a house that looks just like all the other houses on the block. I want to spend all my free time with my family and never meet other people. I hope the only friends we have are people we know from work and other family members. I hope we never go out anywhere for fun except to company picnics and cartoon movies with the kids. And when we talk about stuff, it'll be just small talk. I only want to talk about the weather and my job and the new TV shows and sports games and the neighborhood gossip. If anybody talks about big ideas, I will call them weird and report them to somebody. When I grow up, I never want to travel to other countries unless it's for work. If I get vacation time from my job, we will just use the vacation time to visit other family members who live in places where we can drive to. I hope I have no desire to learn about other cultures or see new places. When I grow up, I don't want to have any hobbies or passions. I don't want to take any classes or learn any new skills. I will never read another book, and I won't watch any movie that isn't made by Hollywood or doesn't follow a strict formula. I will avoid anything that has subtitles except Star Wars. When I grow up, I will always vote for the people that everybody else I know is voting for in elections. I hope I don't take the time to read about the candidates and their ideas. When people ask me what I think about issues, I will just repeat all the points that everybody else I know is saying and nod and smile. I will never ask questions about anything or talk about things that don't make sense if you think about them too much. When I grow up, I want to go to church every Sunday morning and wear a nice suit. I hope I believe everything the minister says and never ask questions. And I hope I think I am better than the people who don't go to church. I will also punish my kids if they listen to loud rock music or read any books with bad words in them. That is what I want to be when I grow up. Teacher's note, A+, beautifully written and imagined, Bobby. I know your dreams will come true. A new shit called Bobby's Dreams.
I hope not. That's not the teacher's note. Fuck that. Oh.
So, as some of you know, I am heading to Europe later this week. I am touring with our Australian friend Skylar Winter. We're going to go through England and take a detour to Paris and then end up in Northern Ireland so I can promote my book, Hate Story. I don't know if there's anybody from over there here right now. I don't think so. But if you know anybody on the other side of the pond, tell them to come to our gigs. I will put some stuff about that in the chat and some other info. There we go.
I'm so excited for you. Like, yes, it is long overdue. This tour, fuck yes, let's go. It's an incredible. He's incredible. I got to meet Jeff Cottrell in person in New York City in September, and you know, I gotta do. I'm so busy, Jeff. I swear to God, I'm working on my How to Recognize Jeff Cottrell in Public poem. Like,
just make sure he's not wearing a trilby hat and sunglasses. You will never recognize him.
It's so funny. I mean, it's not as funny, not funny, but like, yeah, y'all, please, recognize Jeff Cottrell and give him a goddamn big hug, please. Jeff, don't shave the beard. All right, we're gonna keep moving forward, but I thought that was just damn funny. Yeah, it was hilarious. Let's go. All right, next up we have Poe Sophia Falco, followed by Jenna Lisa Milne. Then we'll bring up our second feature, David Leo Sirois, and then we'll go back to the list. I got John Wiesick. Anyone else who wants to read, let me know.
Okay, this will switch the tone, but hey, okay. I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't know, but we'll see. Where were we? This is a work in progress, but I thought I'd share it. Maybe I get some more ideas. This is draft number 8. It's just got to be epic, and it will. And now I lost all my focus. Okay, I'm gonna try. It's titled 28th Trip Around the Sun, and this is quoting Diane, if I can say her last name right, Seuss, from Frank's Sonnet. So this is the epigraph. I'm going to read it first. So, quote, The day the sun set, oh ragged and bloody as a piece of raw meat in the jaws of a golden carnivore by Diane Seuss. Okay. And my poem, the light from the sun, rising ray of reprieve as the skin burned, no need for candles nor cake. This is much larger than flour, eggs, sugar combined, but the struggle is too real in this reality. Forget the red dye. I cannot be another poet who falls. I know my pen is no sword. I'd entered at 16 the children's psych ward before I knew I was a poet, then unable to ward off demons. If my pen was a sword, that would be double-edged, perhaps disadvantageous or perhaps advantageous. The vantage point confined to that small room, given time outs from cursing at the nurses, sharing a room with a suicidal kid. You cannot out time or find the sacred in those small spaces. Surveillance never had an attempt but dwelled on it, while too many of my comrades have fallen without a sword. Still, this is not an actual war. Some say battle, but I wouldn't attach connotations from that field, even though this mind can do more than tricks, not pretty magic, more like vomiting golden glitter, the light shining too bright or not at all. Risk factors, yet I'm not a mathematician, but no, my birthday cake circumference is 9 inches, whereas the sun is a sphere with the circumference of roughly 2,007,015, it goes on, miles. And if only the sunset could be the onset of a cure, that begs the question that I try to avoid, to redirect attention. I instead lassoed the sun, that carnivore preying on the cattle that became the meats of yesterday. To this day, I hate that song and hate using the word hate as I watched a 16-year-old release a golden balloon, letting go of the string up to the makeshift heaven in the haze of a sky streaked red. I am who I am today, despising red icing, and I wouldn't change that because I have found the sacred in the small moments that became monumental, like my 28th trip around the sun come November. Thank you very much.
Let's go. Let's go. Yes, poet Sophia. Vomiting golden glitter. Like I was like, it's very visceral. Yes, I love it. Please keep going. I love it. Yes. Y'all, if you don't have her book, please get a Farewell Clay Dove is an incredible book, and she's a new one coming out. They're not with my press, they're not with Red or Green Books, but I love just generally supporting other poets and all their work and their books and stuff. It's just so much fun. She's an incredible spoken word artist and author, and I'm very, very proud of her for doing another book and really getting outside of her comfort zone and tapping into some of that awesomeness. You find her online, post a few Falco.
Thank you. Yeah. That line. Yeah. Very well. Yeah. Golden, glitter, sun, balloon, everything golden. The carnivore, I mean, is golden. I mean, it was like, well, the glitter has to be golden if everything else is golden. So.
It's all got right. Yes. I absolutely love it. I hope you stick around and do another round because we'll probably circle back and let everyone have another chance to read. Cool. All right. Next up, we got Generalissimo Brian Franco. Of course, his book, Everything I Think Is All in My Mind, my twin that I almost consumed in the womb. So the story goes. You are up next.
Okay, so this is a new haiku titled All Natural. It is not in my nature to not ask questions when I need answers. And this is a poem that was recently published in Stick Figure Poetry. It's called I So Badly Wish to Exist in Your Ink. I like watching you from afar when you write your poetry. When I hear your pen scratch against paper, as I watch from the other room, when your emotions are transformed into ink, I hope the thoughts that are encompassed in the ink are about me, about how I like to lay my head on your pillow when you wake and rise before me, how those moments you are absent from our bed leads me to your scent, how I taste your tangerine lip balm whenever you enter a room, how my mirror is more honest when you look me in the eyes, how I'm no longer afraid to cry in front of others, how knowing you exist in my life tells my tears it's okay to fall, how the sound of your voice lets me know hugs still exist. I hope the thoughts that become your poetry are laced with the love I feel for you, the love you infuse into my heart with your love. And this next poem is untitled. It was written today in Tumble Words, which was facilitated by Amanda Villanueva. Once upon a time, I was a child filled with wonderment and curiosity. I was a child who colored outside the lines, not because he could, but because it was hard to stay inside the lines. It was not seen as adventurous or abstract, but wrong. Once upon a time, I was an awkward teenager stuck inside a fragile shell. It was at times totally transparent and at times an opaque, blurry mess. I tapped it from the inside, hoping to break free of the shyness and bullying. Sometimes a piece would chip off, allowing me to breathe new, fresh air, but it also sometimes repaired itself as I slept. So I learned the shell's structural misgivings. Then one day it broke apart into several large fragments that fell onto the space that surrounded my life. I carefully stepped over the broken glass jagged edge of what was left of the shell. Once upon a time, I was an ambitious kid in his 20s. By all accounts of everyone else, my future was bright. I actually had a plan that made sense. My smile was my calling card and my attitude was positive. Once upon a time, I was almost 29. I could feel my future calling me and I answered the phone every time. Then one day I woke up crying. I woke up crying for no reason at all. My future was nowhere to be found inside my mind. The crying was as jagged as the edge of the shell I escaped from. Now my psyche was walking on its tiptoes, trying to avoid all the broken glass from the shell it thought it had left in the past. I had to navigate Titanic around iceberg tears, but my tears melted into enough saline to sink my existence into oblivion. Luckily, I wore a life jacket, which allowed me to float through debris of every shipwreck I never knew I caused. I passed out and woke one day atop Ararat. I climbed down the mount. All the tears had resurfaced my soul like a Susan Lucci infomercial chemical peel. When I found a mirror, I looked myself in the eyes and woke up. Once upon a time, I wrote a collection of poetry made of 30 years of laughter and tears. I infused every word with emotion, so each page of poetry could steep into humanity tea. Thank you.
Oh, gee. You guys unmute your mics. Give it up for Generalissimo Brian Franco.
Bravo, brother. Bravo.
Thank you.
I got to hug that man also when I was in New York City and got to meet him in
Oh
life.
Jesus, I got to hug Marissa Prada too. Considering that
It
she
was so
bit through
much
the
fun.
umbilical cord that connected us in the womb just to escape me.
I was gnawing at it.
And then she waited an extra 15 or 20 years in the womb because she didn't want to exist in the same world as me, but that's okay, I forgave her.
All right, for those who don't get the banter and the joke, we have the same birthday, okay? So he likes to tease me that I'm his Siamese twin. All right. Next up, I'm so excited. Like, I've been waiting for David Leo Sirois to come and feature here for the longest time, and I feel so like a horrible person sometimes, right? Because he's so good at following up with me, and he would be like, I want to feature. I'm like, I know, David, I got you on the list. And I couldn't push him through last year. And I was like, dang it, we're gonna get him here this year. And when I went back last year and I started posting online on YouTube all the videos, I was like, wow, we did a lot of stuff. We've done a lot of stuff here at The Word Is Right, not just feature events, but special events. So it does take a while for us to get through the list. But if anyone does want to feature, please feel free to reach out to us. We have a lot of different shows that you can feature on. All right. So David Leo Sirois is a Canadian American poet published 136 times in 21 countries. His work has been translated into 12 languages. He hosts He hosts Spoken World Online, the Zoom continuation of Spoken Word Paris. His first collection is called Humble Doves, Poems to Pigeons and Plants. He won third prize in Winning Writers Wurgle Flomp Humor Poetry Contest, and his poetry has appeared in journals such as the Bombay Review, the Poetry Village, One Hand Clapping, Indian Periodical, the Sunday Tribune Online, the Bastille, the Madras Courrier. Oh God! See, this is where the French Canadian Post starts to hang me up. And Ciel. Oh crap! I don't know. Probably not. Which, of course, I bet I butchered the name. Which also publishes translations from the French. David is often featured at global events such as the Panorama International Literature Festival and 100,000 Poets for Change, as well as in many international podcasts and interviews. You can find Butter the Cat usually at his computer as his sidekick. He's also a singer, songwriter, radio DJ, and film, TV, theater actor. He is currently submitting 5 finished manuscripts for publication, which I'm hoping to find a home at some point with Red or Green Books. And of course, he is writing several more. That it never, never ends. So let's hope David does not ever finish writing because he is sublime. Y'all unmute your mics, please. Give it up for our second feature reader, David Leo Rob.
Merci, Marissa. Wow. A little pain never hurt anyone. So I stand in aluminum rain, far from hometown, Madawaska, Maine. So I stare at parked park pigeons huddled under their wings below a leafy umbrella. They fold their heads into their chests, showing half the yogic skill of turtles who withdraw fully from sight. Divine light draws them deep inside, wishing for visions of pigeon heaven. I wish I were a pigeon, less than low maintenance, maintenance free. Wish my neck was as plump as theirs. It's hard to hold my head up with this heavy ego. I strike a pose to keep my poise. That's from Hubble Doves, of course. And thanks, Marissa, for having me here and letting me share. Oh, I'm going to start my timer. Okay, I'm a minute late, like I was a week late out of the womb. I'm going to share my screen, and here we go into the Poetry Village of David Sirois, featuring Lord Ganesh. Oh, that's not the one. That's my spam. See, I should look professional because I'm a supposed host. All right, here we are. Stage of the spoken world. This is the year of the key. This is the year of the coin. This is the year of the word and the digits of the code. This year is the new alone. I take a walk in twilight quiet, Paul Valéry's sapphire habit, to break from days' webs of words. At times I flow with time, or stride forward while my mind stares behind. Memory wears a necklace of knives, each one meant for a wound of mine. In a disappearing dream, I hear, I recommend getting to know the souvenir. But the persistence of time perpetually frees me from history, moves me into dusky mystery. Valerie's question echoes, will you sing when you're reduced to vapor? I want to chant at all the changes of our day. Dawn, noon, dusk. Midnight walks toward me. She never changes pace. Sorrows of my changing face. Who called to me from all mists of earth? Echo of my first song of mirth. Why pick up the rusted chain again of my time-worn story? Drag it across this doorstep my shadow stains. Keep the vigil of open vision, circle of spacious time, timeless space. Outdoors dusk has turned to dark, its tendency toward a round trip. The best way to end my nightmares is to face them. The play I appear in forever starts over. Refrain of ocean waves, sunlight sculpts with fire. The now is forever a newborn I've never before seen. I touch it with tender uncertainty. Bless this welcome present. Another flash dream firmly murmurs, they're not going to alert you. This is the start. Time is the pulse of consciousness. Now, onto the stage of the spoken world. I can only sing on this side of the curtain. I mean, some melodramatic organ music there. Uh, the Song of Solitude Community. One light and dark sky hovers everywhere to halo holy places and decrepit alike, under crown jewel constellations scattered over the community of humanity. Magnanimous kindness, quiet stars, for all global locals connected by a web. Anonymous earth dwellers, monks, merchants, medics, married lovers who make time to dovetail their own fingers in solitary prayer that paints the air red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I fell in love with the silence of the soul that brings warm human intuition and reason to their knees in the never doomed domed temple of midnight Paris, Prague, Istanbul, Mumbai, Rio, Boston, Montreal, all cities, towns, villages on the omnipresent ground, stage of the spoken world, changing face of earth. One light and dark sky hovers everywhere and pierces countless hearts of artists, open minded midnight acres of scriptures, sculptures, pictures, symphonies that symbolize all human longing, feeling, seeking, wanting, prophesying the coming of greater inspiration still in the company of saints and abundant, undaunted light. The well that gives to all is never empty, but forever replenished and replete with complete knowledge that slakes our thirst for light. We are waves of one unbounded sea of spirit electricity. I whispered into the well of the heart, met by minor echoes, resonance of a temporary rarity, contemporary sincerity. This virus has got there. Contemporary sincerity, passionate search for the blue pearl in the private sky of the mind, sacred jewel, summit of the spirit, culmination of all meditation that holds the whole cosmos illumined in its contemplation, being conscious bliss. I sang into the listening air of midnight, melodic prayers and murmurs of discouragement that disappeared in a sequence of seconds but were stored in the sacred record of everything ever said, sung, murmured, whispered, or simply held in the mind for one minute minute. Wanted to howl, but softly sang raw, off key questions that dissolved in sunlight, breakfast, chants, and meditation, followed by phone calls to pharmacies and families, plus electronic threads with prospective employers, while walled and windowed into snowstorm northern Maine morning, happily writing for nothing, obsessed with nothingness, and from time to time looking for a living. Under the crested waves of frigid winds which populate the sky with pale crystals, I fell in love with the silence of the soul. Though all night I'd intoned the echoed wisdom of weather from a radio speaker that repeated what I'd said into a lonely microphone, tethered to towers that scattered my words to 500,000 satellite dish ears tuned in to practical prophecies for the closest tenants of the planet. Hello, fellow citizens of the world. There is poetry opening everywhere. Myriad eyelids of panoramic vision that begins with the bandwidth of our own outlook. As always, the voice appears in dreams and spills spirit secrets that do not dissolve in daylight. Love helps all the work get done. It's virtual heaven with a sudden survive. God is the only thing that's real and holds the whole dream. Just a jolt would change everything. A little bit of lightning is all you need. Light is might. He threw a window at the sun. Our global open secret God in multicolored, many splendored solitude wears this world to clothe naked light in nature, weather, time, sky, and mind. Hard to see what is behind our eyes. There is light behind the mind, whose only words forever are, I am, I am, I am. I am, damn it. I swear.
Yes, and
Right.
that black background with the white letters is awesome. I know
Oh,
John Basic and other people were
we're, we're going to
format.
share screen now.
Yes.
I mean, we're not going to share screen now. I was going to share myself now reading a poem that, innocently enough, interestingly, resounds with some earlier things read by Rick Spisak. This is a poem that gleefully lost the Wurgle Flom Puber Poetry Contest. It's called Man Boobs. By the power chested in me, by my quirky, perky man boobs, I stand in solidarity with every woman in the world. Happy International Women's Day. Happy Independence Day. Ladies, I know you know what I mean. Remember, you are the creator of your own destiny, said my guru, who is a woman. Heck, my own mom is a woman. Did you know motherhood is next to sainthood? In the beginning, on my B day, I was truly a naked poet. Birth made me so wet, like a woman in the presence of her particular knicker melter. I know 'tis a no-no to speak of this in pubic. I mean, in public. Too bad, Davius Maximus. It's always too late to change the past. Anywho, that dirty word just renewed me. Oh, women of earth, don't let men tell you what to do. Alex, I too just told you what to do. Though any doctor or detective could find proof that I am a man, anatomically correct, a specimen of my gender, I am so in touch with my feminine side that each month, for a few days, I bleed words and pass through the agony and the ecstasy of my poetry mood cycle. The moon looks down affectionately and secretly thinks, this guy gets me. With my visionary eyeballs, I can see into the hearts of all men. Women, not so much. Perhaps that is why I worship them. The landlord at my last address alternatingly called me Monsieur and Madame. My barber slipped up and blurted, "Girl," in the minute in the middle of a dude to dude rap. You see, like the boy king Tutankhamun, I am so handsome, I look almost feminine. To quote the way groove Lao Tzu, I'm different from ordinary people. I drink from the great mother's breasts. Friends, you get what you pray for. As a British woman poet told me, finally, a poem about moobs. Ah,
Oh
almost.
my God, David, I laughed out loud so many times. Yes, please do that
Oh, that
more.
is good. I'm so glad.
Yes.
All right, a few minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and read some of my actual lines from dreams, which I will share on my screen as if we're in the same room at the same time. And here we go. No more spam. Here's the words. All right, you're going to see a little vision of man boobs there in print. All right, my word program is in night mode, so that's why I don't know how to get it out of night mode. That's why my screen is black. Now these are 33 lines from words heard or seen in dreams. It's 141 pages long, actually. It's all actual lines from dreams. Part 4. How I learned to write a sonnet. A bird sat in my heart pocket. I am a magnet for every kind of creative success. And what is the cash equivalent of these feelings? We have to confirm that our numbers are correct. All this is the news, so pay attention. Who's going to light the fuse? It has to be you. Light is might, ecstasy in stillness. He raised them from the bed. Alone is he who waits madly at the door of sleep. I'm falling into heaven. Crystal tranquility can be found in the spine. Someone left this map of everything right here on the table. The pen moves doomlessly. I pray that I be present in the real world, not just the spiritual world. There's only one world. Just as you are present to nature, be present to the light. Just as you are present to the spirit, wake up and sing the song of breath. If it weren't for spoken word, I'd be sitting alone in the corner of a garage, writing by the light of a single candle. What words do you have to contribute to our human journey? I want to play some music. Does it have a beginning and an ending? Yeah. Then I don't want to hear it. If you don't write for now, how will your words endure? I talk and yet worry that you're trying to speak in my mouth. Why don't you speak the truth? Dude, pain is the highest insight. I've decided to finish the mountain poem, climb up the slope of words to the circle of sky. You ask me, and I immediately know after. I draw myself by kindness. Slicks, you can enjoy our poem here. Thanks for worrying about me. You can call on me again. I finally got my own high gear. It takes me all around the now. The ones that come out perfect are the ones holding anything at all. Remember to pack the heavy stuff on the bottom. Just don't forget to bring yourself. Let's live our love story a little later on. Of course, said by the love of my life named Liv in a dream. Did you want to know the answer? You should dance with her. Say hi to somebody. Hold the cords between us. All right. Now, this is a letter. It's a love letter in the form of a poem to an actual woman here who owns a place called Cafe Lotus Bleu. I wrote a book about her and the cafe and my experiences. It's called Cafe, what's it called? Blue Lotus Sutra. Hope it gets published one day. Bleu, cher bleu, red magnetic skywalker, intrepid earth explorer, and intrepid psychonaut. Passport lost, you assert, no one can steal the passport to my spirit. Cool and warm blue green hazel globe spins within your gaze, planet garlanded by beaded lights. Our indigo eyes, one wide twilight. We grow fresh stars, water them with wild and whirling wakeful words in broad magnetic skies. May this letter, leaf of gentle silver maple, float across Wallasta, the St. John River's braided waters curled around rocks, and hum Om Mani Padme Hum into your dream song solitude, crowned with laughter of light and dark dusk birds. Across the waters, I can feel the slow exhale of your long delayed sleep. Your senses drop into the deep as you hold and release gold and scarlet leaves, petite ballerina feet pressed against silk silence. Sunday midnight drizzle sprinkles mantras into all plants' thirst, craving your tender end of October caress, pure desire I attempt to navigate, sublimate into art with respect, restraint, yet fail to keep out of this poem. Cher bleu, fearless forest traveler, in one dream you pursued, you turned a pursuer into a furtive barn owl in flight. You'd fitted your wrists with handcuffs, which fell fast from your contact improv dancers' hands. In that same dream, I glimpse with direct eyes a vision of your Cafe Lotus Bleu expanded into a garden even that leads into a sea of trees, your secret Eden, surrendered to all who seek warm wisdom, cupped in green ceramics, steeped in deep contentment. At the heart of the forest, a sugar maple's roots plant quiet in the night. From its branches hung countless keys, gold and silver openers of inner doors. It has never been forbidden to touch and take from the tree of keys. In my spirit, I plant a cutting of greenest longing. We allow all leaves to fall, gravity of the fragile friction of our forms, fiction of separation, and laugh naturally, not the cynic's sharp metallic laughter, serrated with the sound of hidden pain. We turn times pennies over twice before we spend them on the next rich second. Cher bleu, bel ami, bien aimé. On the cusp of sleep, a brief dream flashes past my heart's eye. I ask the humble prince of selfless service, Hanuman, please lead me where I need to be. He points to pale blue fabric as it falls off a rough hewn sign. One hand painted word, bleu. I'll let that French word echo as we come back to the ending of my little set. Thanks for listening to me.
Oh my gosh, you guys, give it up for David Leo Sirois tonight.
Thanks everybody for the BUDDY.
That was very sexy tonight. And the French was amazing. Like, you know, you spend a lot of time with people over the course of a couple of years and you hear their poetry, but like when you get a whole set from them and they get in the groove and they start vibing, it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's a great example of what you can do when you screen share. Not a lot of platforms do screen sharing, and the ones who do, I think when you hear and you read along, you extract a lot more, especially when you're talking about dual languages. But anything David reads in French is always very sexy. And of course, you know, what was it I posted in the chat? I said, let me scroll up. There's a lot of stuff in the chat. Probably the first and last time Naked and Wet will be in a David Leo Sirois poem. It was very sexy. And I was making comments about the trees from the forest and yes, other things. So thank you so much, David. If you guys want to donate, buy David a cup of coffee, you could do that at ko-fi.com. That is ko-fi.com/David Leo Sirois. That is SIROIS 0412. Of course, I'll post that in the chat again for all of you who are here. But if you're watching this back later or online after the fact, you can do that. Also, head to The Word Is Right, WRITE, to our event page for tonight. All of the poets' pictures, bios, and handles will be listed there. Please come to Spoken World Online. It is absolutely amazing. We call it Paris because it was Paris for a long time. And but I was very excited when I learned David is in Canada because it's super close. It's a lot better than trying to hop a plane across an ocean to come here. Now, I do know that Jeff Cottrell is coming to New Mexico for the Poetry event. He's in Canada and you're in Canada, so I know it's possible. But if you wanted to be a feature reader, you wanted to come out, let me know for June. And if not, that's okay too. The desert Southwest is amazing. It's very warm and dry here. And June is perfect. It's a perfect time to come tour. But all right, yes. Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for our second feature tonight. David Leo Sirois. And Butter the cat. Yes. All right. So we're going to go back to the open mic list. We got two, and then we'll bring up Elizabeth. And I do apologize that, it's taking a little while to get through the list, but hey, such is life. We took a little extra time at the start of things with some music to try to get everyone here. So we're going to go John Wiesig, Doc Janning, which I'm super excited to see Doc back in the house. It's been a while since I've seen Doc Janning here. So welcome back, Doc. And then we'll bring Elizabeth. So we'll bring Elizabeth Ouzts up. And I've got her book here, which is just a phenomenal book. We'll go back to the open mic list, and I have Chanson, Bird, and Robert F. to finish. If anyone else wants to read who has not read, let me know, please. We're kind of running low on time, so we might not do a second round, but we'll tackle that bridge when we get to it. Mr. John Wiesig.
Thank you. I'm going to read a little bit from my latest poetry collection, The Shaman in the Library, and we'll put a link in the chat once I'm done. Ode to a Porn Star. In a world of concrete and shame, only you, my vessel of desire, demonstrate intimacy. Despite slurs and scorn, you remain comfortable in your body, comfortable that others have bodies. Humble as the Pope washing feet, you kneel for our pleasure. One minute your body is a roof that shelters the timid, the next the banshee emerges from the fire between your thighs. Hair stringy, skin slick with semen and sweat, you summon strength to part lips again and again, echoing the sound of the universe's birth. Your moans shake the heavens, tumbling gods from their thrones to walk with humans and demons alike. Crime Wave. I don't know about murder hornets, but cockroaches loiter in my cupboards and drunk and disorderly geese honk to hip-hop music until dawn. But you know what they say. When Canada sends its waterfowl, they don't send their best. They send hooligans, delinquents, and scofflaws, smuggling maple syrup and back bacon in their beaks. Law enforcement is a joke. Cops look the other way when coyotes shoplift beef jerky from the 7-Eleven. They even let the black bear who broke into my kitchen off with a warning. Otters or longhorn beetles must be paying them off. When I discovered the blue jay was using my credit card number to buy 50-pound sacks of bird seed online, I didn't bother reporting it. I blame the media. With all the lewdness on those PBS nature documentaries, isn't any wonder that gangs of white-tailed deer shake down business owners and woodchucks sell crack cocaine by Mrs. Blum Trapster's petunias. Hell, the only reason the feds locked up that bighorn sheep was for tax evasion. Thank God the murder hornets haven't made it here yet. The manslaughter spiders and assault and battery weevils are bad enough. Why, just last week there was a home invasion of carpenter ants, all with their little saws and hammers at the Dunderstead's place. I've taken to keeping my shotgun loaded and propped by the door. If any mallards, sparrows, or nuthatches want to mess with me or mine, I'll be ready. As you no doubt know, um, decision theory is a branch of mathematics used by the likes of John von Neumann to model things like the nuclear arms race. And so here is a poem called Decision Theory. I'm making a spreadsheet to decide whether to kill my dog. That big lumbering pile of fur is getting older, and damn it, it's time to run my household like a business. I score each of Dusty's features from -5 to +5, +5 being the best. Gazing up with adoring eyes, chin on paw and tail thumping the carpet, earns Dusty a +5, while drinking from the toilet or knocking over the trash and dragging used Kleenex into the living room moves him closer to oblivion. I'm in the middle of a computer simulation of future vet bills when Joan notices me in the computer's blue glow. She just doesn't get it. I weighted each of Dusty's traits according to its importance to account for what I value. I'm not inhuman, after all. Why can't she see that the rigor of the binomial distribution and numbers' cool green rationality deliver choices free of passion and prejudice? Besides, she's hosted a sloppier calculation between her ears for months. Eyes squinting and neck straining, I input the remaining data so fast the mouse jitters like a relativistic chihuahua at an espresso bar. The miracle of Moore's law tallies the weighted sum, and the results are terminal. Tail wagging and ignorant of the computer's verdict, Dusty drops a slobbery tennis ball at my feet and nudges my hand with his nose. How can a spreadsheet model loyalty or decency? You're safe, buddy. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for John Wiesek. Whew. Yes, I just discovered the best recipe for Parker House rolls, by the way. So they are just delicious, and it is getting cold here. So we'll be doing a lot of soups and stews and breads. So,
Shirley
yeah.
Corher says uses cake flour for her biscuits so they don't get tough. I don't know. Do you use cake flour or do you use like
Cake
AP?
flour is good because it has a low protein content and
Yeah.
won't form as much gluten, even if you
Exactly.
do a mix. But I
Yeah.
mean, if people don't have cake flour, here's my pro tip for biscuits. Freeze your butter and grate it on a cheese grater
Oh,
instead
okay.
of cutting it into the flour.
Oh,
And
okay.
then keep everything cold. So like when you do your buttermilk mixture, get it cold buttermilk. Buttermilk works great. If you don't have buttermilk, then you need to have some vinegar with your milk because the acid activates the baking soda or the baking powder. So
Okay.
if you don't have buttermilk, lemon juice or a little vinegar will help. But then when you form your biscuits and you cut them, put them in the freezer and let them get a little bit cold before you put them in the oven. And that helps. But frozen stick of butter, grate it on a cheese grater, sprinkle with a little
neat.
flour, it won't clump together. And then you
Okay.
toss that in your flour. And then
Oh,
you
that's
add your,
kind of neat.
yes, pro tip.
So did you ever use the vodka for like pie crusts? You know, people use
Yes,
the
it's
vodka
great to
instead
do
to.
short crust pastries
Yeah,
or like it depends. You could do a hot crust pastry, which is really great if you're gonna do like a form pastry or. But anyways, you can absolutely do a splash, like a tiny splash of vodka, to keep the glutens from forming. But if you allow a dough to rest, you're fine.
You'd probably be good. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
I don't use the oven. I get all of my biscuits at Popeye's Chicken.
Hey, that works too.
I'm sorry, I
that's
think
valid,
Popeye's
Robert.
biscuits are gross. They're like saturated in butter.
That's the best part, Brian.
No, it's disgusting.
If it's too much,
I mean, they put butter over the top before they bake them. Then they take them out of the oven and put more butter over the top. It's disgusting. I mean, it's like you have to take a shower after you bite into it. I don't know.
If you don't like butter, I've been working on a big bubble focaccia, which is a 24-hour fermentation process. So it's a labor of love. But the dough basically bakes in a sheet tray with extra virgin olive oil in it. So the bottom gets that like fried, crusty, beautiful.
That's the best.
So good.
Well, do you have
right?
a pizza? Do you have a pizza stone in your oven?
So I have 2 pizza stones, but I also have an uni. OONI, the uni pizza ovens.
Uni is a sea urchin in Japanese, right? That's sushi, right?
Uni, yes, for sushi is sea urchin. You're right, but I have the pizza oven from the brand Uni. My wish list is to get a pizza oven from Napoli. Would be so amazing to put outside, but.
Well, you live in New Mexico. You can just build yourself one of those little wood-fired things in the backyard.
If you take a yoga ball and you build, so if you lay like those hot intensive heat bricks on the bottom, and then you build up around a yoga ball, and then you just like deflate the yoga ball, it's perfect for a pizza oven. I just, it's just I'm a busy woman. I have a lot of time. But yeah, so I mean. In COVID, I built a chicken coop and now I have chickens. What else, right? But yeah. All right.
When I come to visit you, can I bring my pet fox?
Yes, you can bring your fox, G. You're good. All right, next up we got Doc Jenny, who I'm very excited to hear from because it's been a while since Doc's been here, so I'm sure he's been up to some shenanigans. And then we'll bring up our final feature reader tonight, Miss Elizabeth Ouzts, and then we'll go back to our final open mic list. We got Chancellor and Robert F. to round us out tonight.
Okay. This is titled Lyre of Time. The lyre of time awakens to incense of plectrum's touch. Its voice echoes and reverberates, rising from the censers of the ages. Evening's silence sobs as it glides beyond the horizon of night, shepherding streams of stars and golden galleons of galaxies. They sail on dark oceans of infinity to kiss the silent mouth of eternity, taste the simplicity and complexity of the multiverse in its longing for itself. They voyage into a future of unknowns, a future of hopes and dreams, and thoughts on which to build, on which to change and grow. It is a future of infinite possibilities, one constructed of moments, moments stretching into existence, moments of what ifs and why nots. And through it all, the ineffable voice of the lyre, ancient, mystic, sacred, and profane, echoing and resounding through the ages. This is Forlorn Dreams. Waves of forlorn dreams crash on the shores of my soul, of lost love and love which can never be, of a home which exists, a phantasm in a fantasy, dreams of a life somewhere, somewhen, imprinted, imbrued into my psyche, memories suspended in infinity, memories which never were, and I am lost in the forever beyond forever, lost in a life which never was. And I will finish with, where is it? Okay, there it is. This is Waltz. Listening to waltzes tonight, wishing I could be waltzing at a grand ball with someone in my arms, someone who could love me as I would love them, someone with whom to dance the waltz of infinity, the waltz of darshan, the waltz of kuch, someone with whom to dance all the unwritten waltzes, the waltzes of the forever beyond forever, the waltzes sung from the far side of never and the far reaches of entropy's end, waltzes without end. Thank you.
Oh, Doc. Yes, y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for Doc Jennings. It's almost like you're a poet laureate. I love hearing your voice. Over the last couple of years, it brings me so much comfort, and I just love it. I do. I love it when Doc comes and reads. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing with us. I absolutely love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we got Miss Elizabeth Ouzts, who I'm so excited about. I know how to spell her name and say her name autopilot now for sure.
Because sometimes I misspell it. It's okay.
No, so the little things to me are super important, and I, that is just my thing, and so yes, I have it on autopilot. This is her book. It is, and she has this glorious old vintage typewriter photograph on her book. It is filled with some of the most beautiful photographs. So not only is she a poet, she's also a photographer, and I won't show you all of them. Of course, you've got to buy the book, but she has these gorgeous photographs inside of her book, and it's beautifully written. I'm honored to be publishing this woman, and I'm so grateful for Shane Maynor for hooking us up and connecting.
I know.
It's been a beautiful process.
Yeah.
She's part of the Fierce 15 that launched this summer, and I'm super excited to be her publisher. So I will read her bio. Elizabeth Ouzts is a published poet. How does that sound? Elizabeth Ouzts is a published poet, emerging artist, and amateur photographer. She works in abstract mixed media, focusing on the unexpected results of watercolor over oil, pastel, ink over acrylic, hand embroidery on a page from an old book, taking inspiration from nature's colors, patterns, and movement. She pairs this with canvases created from dictionaries, maps, and pages from antique books, having the art reflect the words on the page. An escapee from the world of corporate finance, Elizabeth lives and works in Charlotte, North Carolina with her husband, teenager, and two nutty cats. When she's not working, writing, or painting, Elizabeth can be found reading, gardening, or sitting on her back porch. You can find her Elizabeth Ouzts on Facebook. Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for our third feature tonight, Miss Elizabeth Ouzts.
So I've got no boob points. So yeah, I got none of those. And my cats are asleep because if they weren't, they're both assholes, and so they would be in here disconnecting everything. So I'm reading this first one is a newer poem, and then I'm going to read from some from the book, kind of going, some are lighter, some are darker, and then I'll close on something happy. So my first one is called, actually it doesn't have a name yet, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll just read. Eve was punished not for giving the apple to Adam, but for the thoughts she had, wishing him dead by extreme means as he chewed that fucking apple so noisily. So, short but sweet. And the next two I have are about writing poetry. And so, sorry if I look like I'm not looking at you, but I can't read it because I don't have my new glasses yet. So I have to just read it from here. The first one is called Oops. The poem was whole again, the typing done, the glue dried clear, and the tape wasn't really noticeable on the back. It was folded and ready to be mailed until William startled me, wrapped his arms around my waist from behind and whispered, "That's nice, but wouldn't it flow more smoothly if..." And I dropped it. I could only watch as it flew into fragments on the floor. An illusion slid under the couch with the dust bunnies and potato chips. A well-conceived image was wedged under the bookcase, and a yardstick was needed to pry it loose. The next one is, I lost it, hold on. On the verge of night. On the verge of night, I sit on the porch and sweat, hoping words will flow out and drop onto the page. The fan cools, but not enough for thoughts to condense. I stretch right, left, relax my shoulders, searching for a comfortable stance. A moon salutation going slightly awry. My favorite blue pen held tight, starts a word, but meanders into a flower, and then a 5-pointed star, and now rows of triangles. I focus on my breath, intent in, words out, pen to paper in a series of positions, each meant to give rise to a meaningful thought, a goddess, a crescent, a mountain. Thank you. The next one is called I Leave Doors Open. I leave doors open on the off chance that opportunity wants to come in without knocking. I leave windows up for fairies and hope and desperation. I leave the flue open for obvious reasons, but drawers must be closed for order, for appearances, to keep the secrets in and the eyes out. Hold on, I have another one about doors. When one door closes, another door opens, but sometimes it's the door to an empty elevator shaft, pitch black, echoing empty, one step and you're gone. Or a louvered door, squeaky hinges, jamming at every attempt to close, so you just give up. Or a Dutch door, the top locked, so you have to duck under, careful not to bump your head. When one door closes, maybe don't look for other open doors. Find a window so you can see what's next. switching back and forth. This next poem, just a little explanation. My grandfather was the first, my mom's dad was the first of my grandparents to pass away when I was in college. And so this is a tribute to him. He was a woodworker and just a great all-around grandfather, but this is my tribute to him. Cedar chest for Frank Raymond. The cedar chest granddaddy made 4 months before he died sits in his workshop, gathering dust, waiting for me to take it home. But there's not enough room in my house or my life, not yet, for a reminder of what I lost when a broken vessel took him out of reach. It's too soon for the absence of tears. When I think of the smooth wood, sanded outside and in, by rough hands from years at the lumberyard. Time has not taken me far enough from January that I can bear the smell of cedar and varnish or flannel shirts and aftershave. So for now, the chest sits and patiently waits for me to bring it home and fill it with as much love as he put into it. Thank you. Marissa, you'll have to keep me on time. I know mine are short and I read fast, so you'll have to let me know. The next poem is called Cicadas. And I'm not sure if you guys have cicadas where you live, but here in North Carolina, they are absolutely deafening in the summer. Cicadas screams saw into the night. Thunder rumbles and rumbles across a gray, green, black sky. Then an eerie silence, since they know what is coming and when it's safe. The same quiet after the call, driving to the ER, knowing I'll be met with the howl and crackling of ozone as my child's mind veers off course, battered by wind and stinging rain. Next one is called Resolution, from the Latin resolvere. Before we made this a New Year's attempt to force ourselves to be better, do more, stop that, start this. It meant to release, to loosen, to give over, and to let things go. This year, I will let go of all self-hate, people who are no longer friends, fears that no longer serve me. I'll loosen the tight red threads of anxiety that cut off my circulation like a string on my finger, reminding me that everything will never be okay. I will unwind the knot that sits a millimeter in front of my heart, causes beats to skip, pressing on my lungs, so no breath is ever a deep, cleansing one. I will slacken the noose that will snap my neck every time she's sad for too long, in the bathroom with razors, asleep for days, all the things that'll rock the chair from beneath my feet. This one's happier. Not to leave you on a sad note. Daily delights are trauma therapy homework. To heal the wounds, I'm finding daily delights, listing them one by one in a notebook shared only with my therapist. The list is a poem of good and great things, small and large, that moor me here and move the anchor out of the deep. A cat on a leash, snow on a Monday, Christmas lights in March, late blooming azaleas, toddler-sized collards, things that at once surprise and slam me into the now, that is still good, still worth staying. How's my time, Marissa? Thanks. We have time for a few more. Let's see. All right. This one, I guess, since it's coming up fall, reminds me of Robert Frost. And this is with apologies to Robert Frost. For once, then nothing. I read Robert Frost, then walk through his New England and find a well of stone and mortar that may have inspired him once. And then, like him before, I kneel and lean far enough to see my face framed by reflected walls. And I'm surprised to see a flicker of something white. Then I wonder, is it quartz or truth or a bottle cap irreverently thrown in a convenient spot? I try not to think about it, but there is something there, I think, or at least for a moment, for once, then nothing. Thank you. Let's see, may I have time for one or two more? I'll close with this one. And this one is, I'm from South Carolina, live in North Carolina. It's the most north I've ever lived. So it's a very southern poem, but I am biscuits and grits, screen porches and the screech of cicadas. I am swing sets, sandboxes, a playhouse with lights. I am sweet tea, Sunday school, water skiing at the lake. I am turkey and dressing and oyster ropes, driveways 2 miles long. I am pine trees, dogwoods, Queen Anne's lace behind an old dirt road. I am cars on blocks, trees growing through tractors, barns collapsing on themselves. I am kudzu, Sunday lunch at BB's, 2 meats, 4 veggies, perfect East rolls. I am Raymond's grocery, a giant wheel of cheese, a walk-in freezer. I'm 100-pound bags of rice, medicated salt licks, a loaded gun. I am deer season, turkey season, quail season, dove season, shotguns and rifles. I am blue tick hounds, blue crabs, Uncle Johnny's camp on the marsh. I am pluff mud, sandy towels, porpoises and shrimp boats. I am flowers, seafood, the sea cow, Botany Bay. I am vacations to one house, beachfront, big porch, family. I'm Highway 25 from college to home. A lineage of kindness, a childhood as comfortable as a cotton dress, knowing I mattered and was loved as much as I love those things long past. Thank you. That's me.
Lovely work.
Thank you.
Lovely work. I'm right over the border in Tennessee.
Oh, okay, not too far.
I wonder if we lost our host.
I think we did.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Oh,
Hold
you
on.
did
No,
a
no, I'm
marvelous
here.
job.
I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yay.
There you
Sorry.
are. Sorry.
Thanks so much, Elizabeth.
Yes, Elizabeth. You have were you wondering how much time you had left?
I
'Cause
did.
Just came back. Oh, you have 10 more minutes. You're totally good.
I don't know what else to read. Mine is short, so I should read slower. Let's.
How about The Night Before Christmas?
I do have one for Christmas. Where is it? I have one called Christmas Lights. That's kind of close. If I can find it. Christmas lights. Christmas lights on the screen porch, still up in June. Compete with fireflies, fewer and further between. Still magical and miraculous. You shine like those lights, steady and unfaltering, set to come on at 7 and go off at midnight. Artificial, but dependable, until the power goes out. A summer storm blowing trees onto transformers. Then you go dark, useless gas baubles on the line. I'm the flickering insect's pale flash, creamy yellow, lasting just minutes after the sun goes down and the temperature drops, flashing a signal to the universe, see me, but eclipsed by you until the thunder rages and the ozone snaps the connection. I think I'm good for tonight, Marissa, if that's okay. I don't think I have 10 more minutes in me.
it was marvelous work, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Very enjoyable. And I think even if you hadn't told us, I could have guessed that you're Southern.
Really? I don't know.
Well, you did good work. You did good
Thank you.
work.
Well done.
Yeah, I liked the poem about where you were from. That was
Thank you.
great description, and the 2-mile long driveways were great.
Yeah. My uncle's driveway, literally 2 miles long. In the middle. Yeah.
I grew up in Mobile, Alabama, so a lot of things that you read about are things that happened
Yeah.
there too.
All right, Elizabeth. I'm sorry because I'm juggling some other behind the scenes stuff.
That's okay.
You have plenty of time. I know that was one of the things you had said was you weren't sure if you had enough, but if you would like to read another one or two, you're welcome to do so.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and remove the spotlight. Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for our third featured reader tonight, Miss Elizabeth. Everyone.
Thank you.
Please go get her book was.
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
It's a phenomenal book. The photographs that are in here, they're vibrant, they're vivid. The work is phenomenal. I mean, and she is just an incredible human being. So please, please, please go get her book. Support the authors. If you would like to send her a tip for tonight, let me go ahead and copy and paste this in the chat. And there we go. You can send her PayPal is Ouzts, OUZT22@gmail.com. And Venmo is Elizabeth-Ouzts, OUZTS-1. And you can send her some fun tips in there. There's 14 people. There were 18 people. There are 14 left in the room tonight. If everyone just sent $2 or $3 to her, or hey, go buy her. That is a great night for her and her feature, and it will send y'all some information about our anniversary show when we get ready to do the feature of the features. And if you would like to come back and read you wonderful features this evening, we would love to do that. I will copy and paste all of the cache links for you features and pop them in the chat here. They are also available at The Word Is Right, the event page tonight. You go to the event page, click discussion, find the artist, and their bio with their links are there. All right. So we have Chance on Bird, Robert F., and Terry Rose Jertson to round us out tonight. Only 3 more poets left. Chance on, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And Chanson, for those who don't know, runs the Hear Me Coo Haiku Workshop here at The Word Is Right, the 2nd and 4th Sunday every month. And also does Postcard Poets. If you're interested in picking up Postcard Poets program, it is a free, anonymous program where we send and receive postcards all over the world. So it's a lot of fun.
All right, so I have 3 haiku to share. Haiku. Often ask myself, how do you feel about you? Haven't heard back yet. Haiku. Jesus versus church. Many people claim to know Jesus. They simply know church. And the last one, struggling against me, at war daily with myself, waiting for peace talks. Thank you.
Woo! Woo! Let's go, Chanson! Is that it? Just the haikus?
Well, I mean, if you want me to read something else, I can.
That's you.
Let's see.
All right, while Chanson's looking for another poem, I will do a special haiku in Chanson's honor. Haiku. Of course. Shit. All right, hang on. Dang it, Chanson. I was all ready to read this and then dang it. Okay, the only reason you're mad, the queen's dead now, because Dick's back in charge. There's your haiku, chance on. I love it. It's almost as good as your Putin your Putin haiku. Your Putin haiku is really fucking great.
All right, so here's a poem. I'm sure I can win your heart with a promise that we never part. I've tried really hard to stay away, but all I can do is say, when my heart was hurting, you were my ointment. Let's start anew as we meet destiny's appointment. I can withstand the pain as we hold hands. Let not our love let not our love be a ransom of life's demands. As a sweet breath carries your voice, make unconditional love your choice. Let's give love a try till we bid this old world goodbye. Thank you.
Aww. Oh, chance on.
Woo!
Go.
Thanks.
And I saw you got your brand new car. Congratulations to you. That means you
thank
can drive your ass to New Mexico.
Nice car.
now. Yes. Yes, let's go. All right, we got Robert F. and then Terry Rose Dirtson to close us out tonight. Are you ready, Robert F.? Thank you for your patience as well.
Good evening. I'm Robert Fleming, a word artist from Delaware. And what I'm going to share tonight, I picked to follow up with the second feature, David Leroy. The first one is a poem where the black and white is switched, where the background is black and the text is white. And I will share that now. Before warring, we wore hair keratin like baboons and knocked our chests like gorillas. We wore skin like zebras and bent over to water like wildebeests. We wore muscle like lions and paw-swatted flies like bears. We wore bones like swine and dug dirt worms like robins. We wore blood like falcons and talent on branches like pigeons. We wore fig leaves like chameleons and hid motionless like a rat out preying an ambushed snake. You named us Adam and Eve. We were before words. Thank you. And my second one is also on the theme of being a man. And I also submitted it to the same poetry contest, the Wurgler humor contest. And I didn't win, but it was published on Mad Swirl. And I will share that with you now. It's called How to Make Men Give Up Road Rage. What matters most to men is getting there. Not just in a truck, but to get off the highway, to a tech stop, to ejaculate. How gray are the tire remains in the emergency pull-off lane. If the road's rest stops would be better rest for men, then men resting off-road would eat Hostess ho-hos and other men would eat ding-dongs. As the hostess remains would ride from men's throats to esophagus to stomach, men would drink Dixie cup beer shots, and for $1, men would hear, "You're the smartest." And for $2, men would hear, "You're always right." Thank you. And I'll just share my last visual image, which is a tribute to the color blue. So this is called bluish, and the concept is that the background is green, which is the opposite color of blue, and all the images on the screen are blue. Thank you for letting me show you some of my word art tonight, and greetings from Delaware.
Yes, Robert F., thank you so much for being here. Robert F. is also in our LGBTQ anthology titled Out Loud. Very excited to have him part of Red or Green Books. Thank you so much, Robert F., for your time tonight. All right, to close us out, we have Terry Rose Jertson for the last open micer tonight. And then we will do a huge last standing ovation for our featured readers and call it a night. Terry Rose, are you ready?
Yes.
She's got it here too. And
Yes.
Terry Rose's book Chameleon Chronicles is also part of the Fierce 15 with Elizabeth Ouzts from Red or Green Books. And so please support these poets and their work. All right, my friend.
So I wrote this today in a workshop, Tumble Words, with Amanda. And it was hosting, so it was doubly good. Okay, Reborn, Generalissimo, but it's not him. I'm messing this poem up. Damn it! Let me start over. Reborn, generational curses, writing my story, seeing with my fresh new eyes, born from obscured vision. I know my truth, no longer blindsided, heart radiating love, resurrected from ash. The old rhetoric has begun speaking life, no longer afraid to smile, reflecting pools of inner beauty, once, twice, thrice beaten down, lost and found the strength to stand on my own. Woo!
Let's go, Terry Rose. Yes. Did you have another one you wanted to do?
Sure. This one's called Letting Go. Letting go of your memory has never been easy. Unrelenting pain, leaving a mark on my soul. What if you were my soulmate, but you were too damaged to be open to that? We met for a reason. There are no coincidences. My life is forever changed by your presence. Our son was birthed from a mixture of stardust and hellfire. Our lusty afternoons were destroyed in those flames. When your eyes burned out, two black holes that repelled me with the force of 1,000 stars, the same that drew me like water from the well that ran out. Where was the water now? Left dry. I cried. The tears filled the empty places.
Oh man, Terry Rose Jertson. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm so excited I got to meet Terry Rose in person. Also in New York City, I got to hug her. It was so exciting. Yes. Watch her perform live. It was, yes, right, Shaki? Kitty ears. They're going, yes, they're coming back. They almost look like Butter the Cat's ears, almost. If that does it for you. So let's go. All right. So thank you all so much for being here tonight and for reading. Thank you to our triple features. We had Rick Spisak, David Leo Sirois, and Elizabeth Ouzts here to read for us this evening. Remember, you can share tonight's live video from on the Word is Right page to anyone. They do not need to have a Facebook account or page to be able to view tonight. Eventually, we will get it uploaded to our YouTube page and you can share it there as well. If you have not signed up to come down to New Mexico in June and you would like to be part of the New Mexico Poetry Summit, please do so. We have filled our featured reader slots and our headliner slots. So please come down, mingle, mix, and be with us. We have a whole entire open mic Friday night, a mixer, meet and greet, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of poetry, a lot of workshops, a lot of things are going to be happening that weekend. It'll be well worth your while to come down here. That's one of the things I was giving me real quick. Let me copy and paste all of this. I'll put it back in the chat. If you would like to save the chat this evening, please do so right after I post this. These are all the handles for a post this evening. David, Rick, and Elizabeth, those are their pay handles. If you would like to send these artists any tips, but for example, you only have PayPal or you only have Cash App, then please reach out to us at The Word is Right, and we will connect you with the right account to send a tip, and we will forward that on to them. We do that as a courtesy and don't take any sort of payment with that. So if you would like to do that, please reach out to us and let us know, and we can forward payments on to the artists tonight. If not, go buy their books, right? Go find them on social media, go connect with them, and then go buy their books. That's as simple as that goes. All right.
Thank you, you wonderful soul.
Thank you. Y'all unmute your mics. Give it up for our featured readers tonight. Rick, David Leo, Ron, Elizabeth. Woo!
You guys.
An incredible triple feature. I couldn't imagine anyone else being in this lineup this evening. All right, so to close us out, grab a drink, whatever it is. It could be water, it could be nothing, could be just like Jeff Cottrell does with his hand, because, well, never mind. We won't get into that. All right, here's my toast to bid you all adieu until next week. Here's to health in your company, and one for the lasses. Let's drink and be merry, all of our glasses. Let's drink and be merry, bad thoughts to refrain, for we may or may not ever all be here again. This has been The Word is Right, triple feature Saturday night, hosted by Merva Prada, me, your host. Thank you to our speakers. I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Yes.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, Marissa.
Night.
Sleep well and all that.
Bye.